Zbeck has been absolutely destroying the markets despite poor market conditions, right? We know over the last couple of days, Bitcoin has been selling off. We know that, a lot of cryptos have been taking a hit, but Zbeck, yeah, sold off a little bit, but it's been holding really well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one and only Zbeck. Now, I did see there are a couple of new posts, so we will dissect everything we saw on Twitter, on Zbeck's official site, or sorry, official Twitter. And then we are going to dive into the technical analysis. So we can see milestone reached, over 4 billion Zbeck staked. This is a massive achievement for our staking program. Thank you to everyone who supported us throughout the journey. Let's keep building. Earn up to 15% APY on your Zbeck. So that's really, really good, right? Obviously I'm comparing crypto to banks, but I don't really care. I don't really care. Your bank, if you deposit your money and stuff, you can have a deal. Usually you get 2 to 3% back a year, and that's still being generous. Zbeck, if you believe in the project, you're going to get up to 15% in the year, right? So whatever you make with banks, you can make like 5, 6, 7 even times more staking with Zbeck. So just think about it. Think about it if you want you want some passive income, if you want to get a little bit of extra money, especially while, there's still a few more months before we really, really explode. We could also see whether you use silver, carbon, or black, every Zbex card works with Apple Pay. So it's beautiful, right? That is what we love to see. Private, non-custodial, and always ready to tap and go. So yeah, guys, if you weren't aware, you could have Apple Pays with a Zbeck card. Absolutely beautiful right here. You know what? I actually haven't seen this myself. So let's dive into the differences, and we can see right away, ladies and gentlemen, the silver, carbon, and black. Best for one-off buying gifts, everyday spending, or high-ticket buys and luxuries. We can see this one is a single load. This one's reloadable. So yeah, let's see, 1K per card, 10K per day, 10K per day. There's no limit on this one. Let's see here. It's valid for 18 months or empty, 2 years, 4 years. Apple, Google Play. Okay, so it's all the same thing. Spending US. Okay, I'm surprised that this one, the one off, has actually more options than the carbon and the black, but I guess that's how they're doing it for now. But yeah, we can see you can get any of these cards, and I mean, just think about it, right? Just think about it. One more thing, right? One more thing, ladies and gentlemen. I think this actually might be kind of similar, right? Your crypto spendable in real life. Yeah, your Zbeck silver card lets you spend stable coins and tokens anywhere MasterCard is acceptable. So, yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. I love the way crypto is heading. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that Trump won. I don't care. I'm not even American, but the fact that he's pro crypto, everything is unfolding. There's so many things he's doing. There's so many things America's doing. The other nations are getting involved. There's projects like Zbeck on the rise. Crypto is evolving, and it will always evolve. It will continue to evolve, and something like Zbeck will stick around, right? Unless something internally implodes, the 1 in a billion scenario, there's no reason why Zbeck is not going to be a top crypto and a very how do I say this, demanding crypto in the next few years, right? I think a lot of people are going to start jumping on that bandwagon, and they're going to really like the innovation that Zbeck brings, getting paid per second, right? Think about that, right? Instantly, you have the money, and it's going to cause people to want to work more because they're like, well, I get my money right away. I want to work. I want to get this extra meal. Let me put in that extra 30 minutes. Let me put in that hour. And it's just going to be amazing. Truly, truly. The whole system is going to change. I don't think people realize how much of an impact Zbeck can have globally when crypto becomes even more mainstream, and the new meta is going to be involving getting paid per second instead of bi-weekly. Anyways, let's look at what happened. Right, we're going to see the analysis over the last day or two. So we can see, ladies and gentlemen, right, we had these highs over here of practically 0.006, And then we continued to go print lower lows, lower highs, right? We were consistently printing lower. We could see a clear staircase to the downside, right? Clear as day. And then we did have a little bit of a potential momentum shift, right? We did burst up, but we still rejected and we were still lower than this zone over here. And we thought, hey, most likely we're most likely gonna be in a channel where we kind of just go diagonally for a while, right? But ladies and gentlemen, we did sell off a little bit, but Bitcoin started to recover. Altcoins started to recover, and Zbeck just continued to dominate, right? That is the truth. I know we did technically, fall off a little bit. This is a decent amount, 22%, but really it's nothing. It's really nothing that crazy. And we saw Bitcoin the other day go down a lot, right? Over the last couple of days, it went down 6%. We saw altcoins take a big hit. And look, right, I had this already drawn up perfectly, and this is literally what happened with Bitcoin, right? We fell back down. We wanted this retest. We got the retest. Bitcoin's continued to push higher and higher, which makes me believe that we will be seeing Bitcoin back to 120, back to 123K sooner than later, meaning something like Zbeck is going to continue to dominate the markets. I, I am super, super surprised in a way because I know pullbacks are healthy. I'm not saying I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, I want a crypto to go down just because I want it to go down. No, I just understand pullbacks, right? But look, ladies and gentlemen, we've been holding this extremely narrow trend line for many, many weeks now, right? And you know what? We'll most likely at this rate continue to hold it up until all-time highs. Okay. I've never seen a crypto or any forex pair or anything in my life do something like this, right? If we just do this, right? I've never seen something narrow like this. The only close thing I could say is meme coins that all of a sudden get insane traction, right? There's this meme coin called Troll, right? We can see, I'll show you the price action right here, right? Something like this, right? But this is kind of an anomaly. This is when the whole world bandwagons. And this is what I mean. This is what's going to happen with Zbeck, people. You understand? When altcoin season is officially here, when the whole world starts to bandwagon, this is what I mean. Zbeck is going to do what is going to have to do. And then once we start getting those pumps, those last few weeks of pumps, this is a type of gains and this is a type of chart you're going to see for Zbeck. Okay. Something like Troll within like 2 week span has gone up at one point 9 times. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So when Zbeck does what it has to do over the next few short months, over the next few short weeks, right? Let's say we get to 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, whatever it may be. You're going to start seeing that we're going to start climbing a cent a day, right? We're going to start climbing 2 cents a day. It's going to be the most insane thing you have ever seen in your life, especially that Zbeck's market cap isn't even that crazy. Yes, it's a good, respectable amount. It really, really is, right? We can see we're currently ranked 116 in the world, 510 million market cap, 40 million volume. But what's going to happen when this becomes global? When Zbeck is going to become the trend center, right? Or the trendsetter, I should say. And what's going to happen when you have hundreds of millions of people starting to dump their money in crypto? What's going to happen when there's a high chance we get this XRP partnership? What happens if we do get this XRP partnership, right? The growth, people, is going to be insane. And you got to realize, once we get to billions of market cap, even a 10% day for people that got in early is insane, right? Because for us to double, it would require, 500 million market cap. But let's say we are already at 5 billion, right? Going up 10% at 5 billion market cap is going up 500 million market cap. So it has the same effect as if you would double right now. So if you're up 5 grand, and let's say your whole portfolio is 10 grand in Zbeck, and you go up 500 million in market cap, that's going to be $20,000 portfolio in Zbeck. But the days where we're going to be in the billions of market cap, and let's say we're at 5 billion market cap, and we just even have a 10% day, you from that little 10% pump just made 10 grand. So you understand, even when things start to slow down where they only pump 5% a day, 10% a day, maybe 15% a day, that's going to be super huge, because at that point Zbeck's already going to be 10, 20, 30, 50 times bigger than it already is right now. So that's the thing, people. That's the thing you got to realize. Yeah, I don't think people understand. Altcoin season is the craziest of crazy times. It's a reason why it only happens like every, let's just say, 5 years, practically 4 to 5 years, because it's the craziest, most unorthodox way of making money, but it's the most rewarding. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to hold on. Zbeck, Zbeck holders continue to have optimism. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? Zbeck's been one of the most dominant cryptos, especially in the last 3 weeks with the amount it has pumped, right? Even taken from these bottoms over here, let's say ever since we kind of got confirmation, we've gone up double, right? I'm super excited for this crypto. I know the future of this crypto is going to do very, very well. People can continue to call it a scam coin all they want. At the end of the day, it's people like us that are going to make a huge bag. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.